My name is Liz Goodrich, and I am running for Redmond School Board position number 5. I am passionate about education, and I am committed to this community. What a beautiful day, and I can't tell you how excited I am to be a community member in Redmond. But first, let me tell you, my goal here today is to tell you a little bit about myself, my background, why I'm qualified for the Redmond School Board, and then tell you some of the things that I'm going to be prioritizing as a board member, and then open up for a few quick questions. I'm headed over to the State of the City lunch, so I'm anxious to hear what the mayor has to say. So, just by way of background, my family moved to Central Oregon in 1978. My dad took a coaching and teaching job at COCC. He was actually the last basketball coach at COCC before the program got whacked. I don't think it was his fault, although they never had a winning season. So I have deep roots in public education, and as the granddaughter, daughter, sibling, spouse, and as a former teacher myself, I know the importance of public education, and I firmly believe that schools are the cornerstone of strong communities. Redmond is growing, Redmond is changing, and right now is the time to prepare our schools. And I am anxious and excited about serving as a board member. I've been actively involved in education my entire career. I taught high school English, 9th grade mostly. I came out of Chico State with a bachelor's degree in English and a teaching credential. I was 23, so when you think about it, I wasn't a whole lot older than some of those students, and I certainly didn't look a lot different than some of those students. And I'll never forget my first year. One of the student aides brought a message from the office, and they're like, "Where's the teacher?" What do you mean? After teaching, I've taken jobs doing other things, but always involved in education somehow. I was an educator at a rodeo museum in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I moved to Redmond in '99 and took a job as the volunteer coordinator and fundraiser at Hospice of Redmond. So again, teaching people how to be volunteers in hospice. My current position, I work for Deschutes Public Library as the adult programs coordinator. I organize 250 programs a year for adult cultural programs, including the biggest event that the library hosts, the community-wide reading project called A Novel Idea. Is anybody familiar with A Novel Idea? Yay! So our biggest event is this Sunday, and I'm a little bit scattered. So it's a job I've held for 17 years, and I think libraries are important in our community because they, again, are part of the whole stream of education. So starting in the fall last year, I decided to get more involved in our community. I took a position and currently hold a position on the Downtown Urban Renewal Committee. I also sit on the Downtown Parking Task Force because parking matters. I say that's a laugh line, you're supposed to laugh. Thank you. Because people like parking, that's kind of pedestrian, but it's not. It matters a great deal. And I think that public engagement in the decision-making process at the local level matters. Those decisions that are made at the city level, on those committees, and at the school board help to shape our community. I have 2 sons. My oldest graduated from RPA in 2012, I think, 13. That's terrible, mother doesn't remember. And my youngest will be graduating from Redmond High School this June. I'm proud to say that he will have, when he graduates, will have attended kindergarten through 12th grade in Redmond schools. He started at Tom McCall, finishing at Redmond. And our family's experience with Redmond Public Schools has been outstanding. Both my boys, very different young people, both were served by their teachers, by their administrators, and given the opportunity to meet their full potential. And I know that's not true for all kids. And it is one of the reasons why I'm running. I believe that students deserve schools that are going to challenge them and prepare them for their futures, whether that's going to college, going into the military, going into a trades, or going right into the workforce. I believe that parents deserve schools that will nurture their kids. I believe that staff and teachers deserve schools that will support them, respect them, and give them opportunities to develop their professional life. And I believe the city of Redmond deserves an engaged school board that's in touch with the issues facing our town. So that's why I'm running. I've got 4 priorities though, but I have to tell you that they are changing as I've been out talking to people. My priorities, the things that I thought I wanted to focus on at the beginning of my campaign are not necessarily the same, and we can talk about that. So I think planning for growth is important. I think always keeping the eye on the financial ball is critical. I mean, there aren't two most important things: how we wisely spend tax dollars and taking care of our kids. I mean, that the board is tasked with those two very important things. I believe in supporting the staff, giving them opportunities, and I, of course, absolutely believe in making sure that our kids have an equitable and quality education. So ballots go out in the mail the first week of May. Election is May 21st, and I would be honored to serve on the Redmond School Board. So I am happy to entertain questions. That's my elevator pitch. Yes, Carl.
So have you been attending the school board meetings, and so what is your outlook on the bond measures that is being talked about?
I have been attending the school board meetings. I attended the Budget and Finance Committee meeting for the 5-year plan, which was, to me, I found it really fascinating. Some people are like, well, that's kind of boring, but I do find all that detail work really interesting. Yeah, the bond failed. I was disappointed in that. I voted in favor of that bond. I think that the board has done a lot of sort of reflection. They hired a consultant to come in and look and to do some after ballot surveying of our community to find out why the bond didn't pass. I think the plan is to put it up again in 2000. I can't remember, but I'm anxious for them to put it up again. I think our schools are, Lynch in particular is woefully outdated. Schools need to have some more safety measures in place. So I'm sad it failed, but I think that there were some things that had some people concerned about that, the way it was written. Yes?
Curious just kind of how you see I guess, so the current school board, is there something that you're looking to address that you don't feel is being addressed, or some different way you want to go than what you're seeing on the board right now?
I think for me, the biggest thing that I think that I can bring to the board is public engagement. I mean, it's what I do, it's who I am. And I love getting out and talking to people. It's been one of the most rewarding things about this campaign is listening to people. And it's something I'm very comfortable doing. And I think that the board has done an adequate job at that, but I think I could help with that.
Are you running unopposed?
I am running against an incumbent.
And then secondly, budget-wise, it feels like your hands are tied.
Yeah.
The big one is PERS.
Right.
There's not a lot that school board members can do unless it's a private bond or a local school bond. So I guess I take it to what I feel like is the next big issue is, are kids' security at school? Are they safe at school? And mental health. We're seeing a lot more teen suicide attempts. We had one happen in Redmond a couple of years ago. Is there anything that you on board could do to help with those things?
Well, the PERS thing is in Salem, and you're given a slice of the pie then that you get to make horrible decisions about how you're going to spend it. Thankfully, currently on the floor up for a vote is House Bill 2019, which is a funding bill that sends pots of money to school districts to be spent in 4 different areas. One is extending contact time, so whether that means longer days or adding more days on at the end of the year or starting earlier. Second is mental health. Third is augmenting or bringing back programs that were lost during the budget cuts, so arts, PEs, personal finance, civics, those types of things that were cut. And then the fourth is secure and safe schools. So that we're hoping that passes, because that's outside of the regular budget. And schools are asked to write, they have to apply for these pots of money. They have to write an application, a plan, and then they have to have a way of evaluating the success of how the money's being spent. There's a lot of talk right now about fully funding the schools for the first time in years. And it was part of the governor's budget on how to go about that. So we're hopeful that there is some relief at least coming. My husband's a social studies person, and often our dinner table conversations, like last night we were talking about Great Britain's past and Arthurian legends. And so history is part of our regular discussion at my home. So yes, I agree. Yes?
One of the roles the board has is not only to educate the public, but to work with the legislature.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the organizations that does that is the Oregon School Boards Association.
Mm-hmm.
There are some districts that do not want to participate in those kinds of organizations. I'm wondering where your position might be on being part of a larger statewide organization that advocates for children, advocates for school, versus, which oftentimes means you have to submit your own personal concerns that you might have in the district to the larger group. How do you feel about being part of the School Boards Association?
So I attended a meeting that was over here at the High Desert ESD where Ms. Helt and Mr. Knope were there to listen. And most of the people in the room were school district administrative level and school board members. So I mean, I think it's important if we're going to advocate for education statewide, we need to be a part of a team.